Finished up at 25.8k in straight commissions last month.
At 28.8k in commissions in January. Knew I could do 8.9k on the side of my 9 to 5 and actually do it full time. The 28 to 30 was going to happen. So 6:45, literally get my clothes on, brush my teeth, out the door, drive 45 minutes. Then from 8 till 5, I'd do my work or whatever, basically be chained to a desk. I'm honestly baffled how people are still doing that now.
Feb and March were the worst months doing what I did. The weather's shit. I used to have to commute like an hour a day, and you see how everyone's so miserable. It sucks the energy out of you as well.
And now it allows me to go for a haircut when I want, go to the gym when I want, go for a run.
I don't have anyone to really answer to. I can work on my own schedule. Like, my life has done a complete 180.
You know, what we need from clothing to give you personally?
Success and money.
Okay,
what are the two biggest drivers?
Me and Joe are speaking about 40-50k, and that is actually in our eye line for a month.
The top performer on our offer last month made 100 grand.
So earning potential is 450,000. I want to average 35k a month.
The goal for the next 12 months is I want to do 500,000 commissions. There's going to be 50k months this year. I'm absolutely certain of it.
And we're back in the room. We have the dream team, Harry Ward, Joe Collison. I mean, this one's going to be huge. Account executive on a 6-figure salary, account manager on a 6-figure salary. Both 4 months ago was on one, 3 months ago was on one, now full-time in remote sales. We've done member interviews with both Harry and Joe, but the last member interviews, the numbers that you saw was done part-time. So Joe did 11.9k on the side of his account manager role. Harry did 9.3k on the side of his account exec role. It's only right to update everyone how things have got on now that you've left your 6-figure corporate sales role. You know, everyone probably thinking, oh God, they must have gone down, they're paid for performance, you know, I can't believe they've left that behind. Just give us an update. Obviously, Joe, kick us off. How did you, where'd you finish up in January in total commissions made, take home?
I called it actually, didn't I, on our last member interview. Finished up at 25.8k in straight commissions last month. So,
Harry Ward?
At 28.8k in commissions in January.
What's that? That's a double, well, more than double for Joe, pretty much triple, over triple for yourself. Harry, how's it feel, genuinely?
It feels good. I mean, you know, it was inevitable. I knew it was going to happen. I feel like, yeah, just coming in straight away from May, knowing I could do 8.9k on the side of my 9 to 5, and then being able to just sort out those hours and actually do it full time. I just knew that the 28 to 30 was going to happen. So, yeah, all good.
Joe, how you feeling?
Like Harry said, it was inevitable. Like, you do the maths, right? If I could do 11.9 on the side of a 9 to 5 role, I'd take that out of the equation. So, doubled it and a bit more on top. But yeah, we're only just getting started.
To give context, obviously, to everyone, Harry and Joe are both on the same remote sales role in the space. We've got one other. We had 2 others that were on it. One, Callum Tresham's just gone on to land another remote sales role, which is a really lucrative one as well. We've got Josh Robbo, who was also on the same one as you guys. He did about 26,000 a month in commissions as well. In terms of you guys making this level of income, what do you feel is the biggest factor as to why you've been able to do this? Because I always say, look, to get to 10,000 a month, like, I know this sounds quite whatever, you can do it with your eyes closed. I mean, you both did it part-time. 15, a little bit of skill set. 20 and then 25, like, there's no like, oh, good offer. Like, you have to be really, really, really good. What do you think's one of the biggest factors as to why you've been able to do the numbers that you've just done last month and will do continuously?
I think for me, like, coming into the industry, there was a massive misconception where I had as well, where I would come in, I'd do 5-10k and then sit on a beach in Bali and that would be that. But like, now doing what I've done now, it's all come down to 12 to 14 hours days, relentless obsession, determination to be able to go and do what I've done. Like, you obviously learn the process, and the process is obviously one thing, but actually putting in the work and being able to do, you know, the 25 to 30, 40, 50k a month, it's a different level of commitment. And you have to revolve your whole life around sales to be able to get to the point, you know, that you want to get to. And that means, you know, eating well, going to the gym, sleeping well, but then at the same time when you're working and putting those hours in that maybe you would be sort of scrolling on your phone, etc., for just working and doing your follow-ups, etc. So that was the massive thing for me. It's just every single day turning up, and not even turning up, showing up. You've got to show up, because you can have one bad day and everything can go crumbling down. So yeah, that for me was it. It's just that relentless sort of pursuit to get to that 30k.
Colin?
The opportunity obviously was a huge one. Landed directly through Deal Fuel, through the in-house partnership. I mean, you know, the vehicle that you're in determines how far you're going to go, but then the skill set is the thing that really takes you there. So I think like dialing skill set in over the past few months, like never getting too big for your boots. Like, yeah, you might have one, like me and Harry have had our best month yet, but you know, to take it to the next level, there's only so many hours in a day that you can take calls. So the thing to get to the next level is skill set, right? So it's keeping on pushing on skill set. But like Harry said, like you've got to show up day in, day out. Like if you think that in an evening, oh, it'd be nice to go and sit on the sofa with your missus and watch Netflix, like why would you want to do that when you could take a call and potentially earn like £1,000 in a call? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So every like waking hour of the day, I was taking calls, like even sacrificing gym sometimes. And you know me, I'm like big into going to the gym. Like if it meant that I could squeeze an extra 2 calls in a day, I would do it. I would miss the gym.
It's so weird, isn't it? Because I try and sort of sometimes look at it from like the outsider's perspective. Because sometimes when you listen to it and you hear like, wait, you know, 7 days a week, like 14 hours a day, like what, you're just taking calls? It's like, yeah, from the outside looking in perspective, like, yeah, but I think when you're in it and you've got that much obsession, it's like, I actually am choosing to miss the gym. I am choosing to not see that person. I am choosing to take an extra call. I'm choosing to stay up to 2 a.m. You know, because you do have the choice. It's like, yeah, you can, as Harry said, you can make 5-10k a month and probably go to Bali and do these nice things. Of course you can. You know, look, if you want to get into it and you want to do that, absolutely. But I think for us at Capital Closer, the guys that we have inside, the leaderboard that we have, and just the environment and culture that we have, like, you're coming in for one reason and one reason only, and that is to get to the top 0.0001% of the industry, which you guys are at the sort of beginning stages of, because I think you know how much growth is there. Why do you feel that you actually take the choice to actually take all of these calls and you will work the 14 hours a day? Because I think sometimes people, like, when they hear this, they're like, why are you choosing to do that? And like, you know, where you have the freedom to go to the gym when you want or go on holiday, like, why are you choosing to do this? Like, if you want to share that, because I think even probably you guys, as you said, Harry, if someone said that to you when you're in your account exec job, like you're going to do it 7 days a week and you're going to be working more, you'd go like, no, I won't. But now you're choosing to do so. Like, why do you think that is?
Yeah, I think you're paid for your performance, right? So everything that you do, you are paid for. So there's no sort of, when I was in my corporate job, I was, you know, getting paid to almost just sit at a desk and be chained to a desk. But now I'm paid for my performance. So any work that I do, you know, I'm getting paid for. So essentially, you know, I want to put 110% into that. And that is the main thing, and the driving force for me personally is I know that every output that I put, or every input that I put in, I'm going to get an output of some source, whether that's a follow-up, whether that's a tie-down, whether that's a closed deal. And I just enjoy it. Like, at the end of the day, like, I enjoy the 20, 12, the 40 nowadays. Like, I actually enjoy it. Like, I work, like 70, 80 hours a week, but I wouldn't really want to do anything else anyway. You know, like that is literally it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah. Joe, you're the same pretty much.
Pretty much the same, but like the thing for me that was pushing me on, and which was good for us last month, is that, like, well, if I take a day off, I know that Wardy or Robbo or Fenny or Scotty might not be taking a day off. So like, if you think I'm taking a day off when those lads are out there getting one ahead of me on the leaderboard, like, you've got to keep pace consistently. Like, me and Harry would, like, obviously we're on the same offer, so it was in the deals closed channel, and before, like, he'd even put a tick next to the deal, I was searching up the email in the channel to see if that was a call that he's taken, to see if he's managed to get one over on me. Like,
I do that, yeah.
It's the competition that, like, pushes me forward. Like, I always wanted to work longer and harder than Harry. Like, he's my mate, but I obviously want to beat him. I mean, the bastard beat me in the end, but like, he did, yeah. But that's why I wanted to work so hard. Like, and I enjoy it. And, you know, Harry rightly said you can make 5-10k a month. Like, I could do that. Like, I could go and have a nice easy life on 5-10k, but like, why would I have walked away from my job if I wanted a nice easy life? I don't want that. Like, I don't want to just sit and do nothing. Like, I want to take calls every hour of the day because I love it.
Yeah. I'd be interested to understand from both your standpoints. I mean, obviously I don't know if you'll remember what January's typically look like, or even just a day-to-day month in like sort of Jan, Feb or March. how does your day-to-day differ from your account exec day-to-day job on a weekly, monthly basis than your account manager from what you're doing now, whether that be commissions, what you can do, what you can't do, like day-to-day, just everything as a whole? How does it now sort of almost compare, like what you're now doing from the minute you wake up to sleep when you're in that role versus what you're doing now?
So, I mean, when I was in my corporate job, I'd literally wake up 6:45. I would literally get my clothes on, brush my teeth, out the door, drive 45 minutes, get to work by 8. Then from 8 till 5, I'd do my work or whatever, basically be chained to a desk. It was actually funny, I was thinking about this earlier. Even in the summer, they would actually keep the blinds shut, so you wouldn't get any sun throughout the whole year. So, and you would do 30 minutes around the car park, because we were in like an industrial state. You would do 30 minutes around the car park and then go back and basically go to the desk. And I used to walk in and people would honestly be happy about their lives like that. And I genuinely, looking back, I'm honestly baffled how people are still doing that now. And I know the people that are still doing that now. So that was obviously one thing. And now, you know, obviously I work in the evening, we work on US hours, me and Joe, but it allows me to go for a haircut when I want, go to the gym when I want, go for a run for 30 minutes here and there if I want to, just, you know, whack on my gym clothes, do that. Go and do other, you know, go for breakfast, go for coffee with my mum, for example, in the morning. She works from home, you know, those types of things. But then also when I'm dialed in and I'm working, you know, it's 2 p.m. till, you know, 3, 4 a.m. But then I get back up and I've got that morning to actually do what I want. Instead of coming back from work absolutely knackered and basically having a bite to eat and going to bed. So, and the other big thing was they actually used to, with my targets, they used to raise them every quarter. So every single quarter, they would raise my targets to a point where I sat down with my manager and I said, I'm doing double the work for basically half the commission that I did last quarter. And he said, you go to every other corporate job, they will, and in a sales team, they will do that. They will always raise your target. And I looked at him and basically went, yeah, I'm done. Because I knew, and this was about sort of, I think this was July time within Capital Closer. And I was like, all I need to do is make sure that I can get proof to make it work. And I'm out the door. And that was a massive thing for me. But that's sort of what the days look like now anyway.
Collison, what's yours look like?
Feb and March were the worst months doing what I did. Like, you came off the back of like having a boozy December, like all the Christmas corporate dues, taking clients out, not doing much work. So you come in January and you're chasing your tail, trying to hit the target. Like Harry said, your targets have doubled. The weather's shit. Like, I used to have to commute like an hour a day, drive down the motorway in the rain when it was snowing, it was freezing cold, de-icing my car in the morning. Whereas now, like, hypothetically I could get out of bed when I want, right? Not that I lay around in bed, but if I wanted to, I could do that. I don't have anyone to really answer to with this. I can work on my own schedule, but in January, like, just remember going back into the office, especially that first week in January, and you see how everyone's so miserable. It's like walking into a funeral when I used to walk into the office, of how miserable everyone is because they've had 2 weeks off of like forgetting about the reality of their life, and then they're kind of like slapped in the face with it as soon as they walk back in the office doors at the start of January. And it was like so miserable, it just like sucks the energy out of you as well. And I know so many people will relate to this, that like, you know, a bit of sun comes out in the UK and people like tend to forget the reality. But Jan, Feb and March, when the weather's bad, it's cold, it's rainy, you're getting up early, it's dark, you're getting home, it's dark. That's the real reality that like you want to get away from. And for me, like, it's just been like my life has done a complete 180 from this time last year.
Well, for you as well, I remember on our call as well, like, biggest reason is why you also made the pivot. I mean, obviously there are many factors, was you were just spending like 20% of your actual role closing, you know, so your day to day, I mean, you were doing, what even were you doing from, you were like speaking to clients, the admin, HR, what were you doing?
All the absolute like squalor that you just don't want to be dealing with, like sales admin, like updating the CRM, like, you know, a lot of things change in the business in January. So you're like bringing up people that like, you need to change their contact details, like reintroducing yourself. Like, I was literally spending 20% of my time that was generating me 90% of my income. like that other 80% of my time, and this is what I said to you, and this was I think in our first conversation, I watched it back numerous times, and I was like, I was spending so much time firefighting for like things that were out of my control to get deals over the line, like the support in the business, like things with like contractual situations, stuff like that. There was so many moving parts that I had to take care of that was just detracting me from selling. And I thought, like, you know, if I can actually find something where for 90 to 95% of my day I'm actually selling, like, how much money could I make?
Yeah. Well, I told you exactly that. Harry, one thing you said, I'll be keen to hear, because I think you said it when you were like making the pivot, and I don't know, I think there was a conversation. I think your mum's from a corporate background, and it was like having the conviction to say to, and I think a lot of people will relate when their parents are from either a corporate background or they've got a certain way of thinking, shit, like I actually need to show like actual proof that there's legs to this, and like you're leaving behind a 6-figure salary. What's been the reaction? Because I know the reaction when you left. What's now been the reaction, if you've even shared how much you've made?
Yeah, no, I have, because to a certain extent, because I think, you know,
The other room screaming.
yeah, I know. I think my dad's in the other room. To be fair, he'd probably be thinking, yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, it's a weird one, because obviously back then they want you to be comfortable, right? That's the only reason why they don't want to see any sort of like unstableness within a role, etc. And I think they saw me talking about this online, and it's just alien to them. You know, they didn't grow up in a world where it's sort of it's all online. Everything was obviously, you could see it, and it was the corporate world, it was the 9 to 5, etc. And that was like stability. So me coming to say, look, I can earn basically double, triple on this, they basically just think, you know, Harry, this is ludicrous. So yeah, obviously turning around to them now and saying, look, this is what I've actually been able to achieve. They believe it, but I guess they don't have too much to say now. You know, it's they're obviously, they're proud or whatever, and they understand that it's taken a lot of hard work and dedication and sort of sacrifice, you know, a lot of arguments over the dinner tables or whatever, but we've got to this point now, and they completely understand it. You know, I can go to Brazil, etc., and I'm doing literally what I set out to achieve. So that, I think that's the main thing.
What do they actually think of it though? Like, now that you've actually made that level of income, is it a bit like, what is actually going on? Is it like, is this real? Like,
yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we spoke in Marbella, and even my dad was thinking about getting into it. You know, like, because of their level of income. Yeah, they think it's absurd. I think they think it's probably absurd that a 23-year-old can make that sort of money in just 1 month, when most 23-year-olds make that in a whole year. So yeah, it's crazy.
Your situation, parents, even friends, I know you've got a friendship group and whatnot. Do they know what's been made last month or whatnot? What's going on?
You know, I've always been like, in terms of my family, like my mum's like run her own business and stuff, so I'll speak to her about it. Like her and my dad are like kind of none the wiser. Obviously, I don't live at home with them anymore, but yeah, they're just like, I think they're just like oblivious to what's going on. They don't really know what I do, to be honest. They just know that I'm doing all right for myself. And then in terms of friends, like I come from a place that's like quite a small town, right? Like Nottingham's a big place, but where I'm from, it's like very much small town mentality. Everyone goes and just works like normal 9 to 5 jobs, it lives normal lives. And, you know, when I say normal, I mean by the definition of an average person. So in terms of my mates, like I have a couple of mates that understand what I do, but don't really grasp the concept of it and like see the opportunity. Whereas like sometimes I wish I could just like shake some people that I speak to about it and say like, this has been me, like this can genuinely be you too. Like there's no reason it can't be. And that's why I've had people that I know that have seen my journey, seen my story, and got involved with it too. Like, you know, every month I'll have a couple of people that I know that will come on and come through me and ask me about it, and I'll speak to them about it, and they will come on and start it. And, you know, people have come on and been successful, and I have full confidence in some people that come through if they put the work in. Like, just because I have 5 years of sales experience, and if someone has 2 or 3 or 1 or maybe even none, like you can still do it, you can still achieve it. So yeah, I think like with friends and family, some do understand, some don't understand, like, and those you're selective with who you have your conversations with as well, right? Like who's actually going to understand and resonate. But yeah.
One thing I want to show, just for anyone that's sort of watching this and wondering, oh, like, you know, Joe's saying this and whatnot, and I'd love to share Harry's, but it was unfortunately taken in when I was in Joe and the Juice in London on my phone, actually. So we actually didn't even do a video call. I remember Harry was like, I thought it was going to be way more expensive than that. I was like, fuck, I should have charged him more. But anyway, that's what it is. It was, but mine and Joe's, I just want to quickly show people this because I think it is actually a bit crazy to know that, we were literally, both of us sat on the end of the conversation here, timestamp 7th of May, 2025, which is, I mean, you look so different as well. I look different as well. We do. It has been a while.
Pulled out the court of it, didn't I?
It's just such a corporate look. Little Ralph Lauren polo on and everything else. But yeah, crazy now that literally like 6-7 months after this conversation, doing 26k in a single month in take-home comms, which again is pretty much your first full month in remote sales full time, having left your role. Because look, I'll just quickly play this. I asked Joe a question of, I mean, Joe's pretty blunt. Why do you want to get into it? Success and money. The only two drivers. Let's just play it and we'll pause it off.
Yeah, and I mean, more so not specifics in terms of like coaching and help, more in terms of where we need this to be. What we need from closing to give you personally.
Success and money.
Okay,
They're the two biggest drivers.
What does that look like over the next 6 months? What do we need to get you to, monetary wise?
I mean, if I was emulating in the next 6 months my best months at my current job, that would be a success to me in 6 months. So if I was doing 10k a month consistently within 6 months, so that's one thing, just going off track a little bit, it's in dollars as well, isn't it? So you're looking at about 3/4 then, aren't you? I think is.
Yeah, I mean, it's about 8.3, about 8.1 grand, would be 10k US.
Right, okay. So
here we are.
And then
just basically asking Joe here what's been the reason as to why he hasn't sort of like got to where he wants
of 18 months and every single night thinking about it, allowed it to get to the point where we haven't got there yet, and we haven't got to that point, and we haven't made the decisions to get there yet, if you're being brutally honest with yourself.
Lack of taking action, to be honest with you. Just not breaking the cycle, not getting off the treadmill.
Good few analogies we used in that one, wasn't it? Funny.
Love that.
Yeah, that was what cool that was, and to know that now we've sort of completely shifted absolutely everything in terms of where you're at. But from a standards point of view, I'd be keen to hear, because I was actually on with Will Evans before you guys hopped on, and I don't know what it's like in terms of like your friendship groups outside of Capital Closer and whatnot. I can only see from Capital Closer who everyone is close with and whatnot. What do you think from a Capital Closer standpoint it's been able to sort of do for you from a standards point of view? Because I was speaking to Will Evans, and one of the things that he said to me, he said, it's really weird, Connor, because I'm now having conversations where I'm like picking the phone up to my pals and I'm chatting to them between day-to-day calls, and all I'm actually speaking about, and some people would say it's really boring, but I don't think we would, all I actually talk about is work. All of the inside jokes, all of the banter, all of the taking the mick out of people, it's all to do with what we do. So it's almost like everything is productive. And it's also as well, the people that I'm picking the phone up to that are now my best pals or whatever within this industry, they're making $15,000 a month. Like Will was saying, he's close with a few of the guys from inside, and he was like, kind of like, they're making 15k a month. And it's like your friendship groups when you're in that corporate environment, you're having a laugh, you're down the pub, you're doing this and that. You're making maybe 3, 4. What do you think that's sort of done for both of you, if you want to sort of share that or whatnot?
I think from a standards point of view, Capital Closer, you can't go a day without seeing a deal closed in that channel, and I think that's what really sort of pushes you on. And speaking to Joe, like sort of throughout the whole of January, I think, how much have you made, for example, today? And he's like, like 2.5k, for example. And hearing those numbers now, though, is okay. Yeah, fair enough. So you've done 2.5k, but back then, when I was in my corporate job, hearing 2.5k in a day. I would honestly look at one of my mates and be like, what the actual hell? So, yeah, I think, speaking to just people like, for example, Tom Fenney doing 60k in 1 month, like the level, there's a different type of level, and it sounds bad, but, I think now we throw around 15, 20k, like it's almost the bare minimum, right? And, looking at, the minimum, but in a month, right? And me and Joe are speaking about 40, 50k, and that is actually in our I9 for a month. rather than back then just, thinking, I'd love to hit 5-10k and live on a beach in Bali. So I think the conversations are a lot different, and that is all I do speak about is work. I can't go to the pub and speak to my mates about normal conversations like football, because I don't really care about any of that. All I really care about is making sure that I can actually better my life. So in 5-10 years, I'm in a better position financially. Maybe that's when the time I can maybe take the foot or the pedal off the gas. But for now, it's all balls to the walls and just put down.
So true, Colin.
I think how close I've grown to a lot of the boys inside has shifted massively. I've always been of the mindset of wanting to meet people that have the same drive as I do. It's always something I've struggled with. A few of my friends have got great drive behind them, and we've always had those conversations. But for me, because of how obsessed I am with being a success, being a high achiever, and changing my life, and ultimately making more money, it's all I ever want to talk about. How can we take over the world, right? And speaking to the boys inside, who I will speak to on a daily basis, I speak to Hugo a hell of a lot, Harry, Robbo, Fenny, Scotty, all people like this inside are on exact same mission as you. But taking a step into the industry, it goes wider than just Capital Closer. Once you get into Capital Closer, the boys that are inside are phenomenal. I've made some lifelong friends that are part of this, that we will go and make a shitload of money together. But then when you get involved in the space, the top performer on our offer last month made 100 grand in straight commissions. So it's the people that you get exposed to inside the space that you then meet, you have different conversations with, you understand their thought process behind things, how they've got to where they've got to. And these guys are younger than me as well. Another one of the guys on the offer made 60k last month, and he's 21. It's insane. From a corporate perspective, you genuinely just wouldn't believe, in the corporate world, it's the older you are, the more you earn, and that's it. It's a standard thing. So the people you meet through the opportunities that you get on and get involved with, and then how your network grows, all of a sudden, I've gone from, in the space of 6 to 8 months, surrounding myself with the top performer who was probably netting 12 grand a month, to networking and being associated with someone that has just made 100,000 in commissions in a single month. So the way your network grows through the space is insane, and it just levels you up every single day because it shows you what's possible.
I think it's so nice as well, because I used to be like that in my corporate sales job as well. It's I'd always ask the question of who in here is making the most bloody money, and I'd always understand what's been his pathway to do it. Is he in the same role as me? Is he in the same position? And it's normally some managing director or some guy that's been there for 15 years, and then they break down, oh yeah, he's making as you say, 12 grand take him off the tax. You hear that he's got 2 kids. You hear so he's keeping about 5 back. You're so he's the top. To know that you're not only in a company, but you're actually in the same position, you're on the same playing field. There's no he's as you said, he was younger than you, and he's doing 60, 100,000 in comms. Is shit. That's the actual standard now. Which is absolutely huge. So it's funny that you mentioned that. Another thing I wanted to show, just the context for people that are maybe sort of listening to this. Joe mentioned a few people there that he has conversations with inside Capital Closer, just so people can see who he's actually having conversations with. So Joe mentioned Hugo, who made 19.3k last month. Joe mentioned Robbo, who made 26k last month. Wardy, 28k last month. Scotty, 31k last month. And Benny, 60.1k last month. Just goes to show the conversations that you're having on a day-to-day basis. For you guys, I'd be keen to just to wrap up here, because you're both in 6-figure sales roles in the corporate environment, what a lot of people would dream of. For people that maybe know about remote sales, or they just found out about it or whatnot, and they've probably had the same feelings that you are. Family may be saying stuff, friends may be saying stuff, worried about, but I've got 10, 15 grand to be paid out next quarter. I've been given bonuses and I'm going to get a promotion and this is going to happen. Conversations that probably happen with you guys. What would you probably say to them, genuinely, from a more conversation standpoint as a whole?
I think if you're happy in your current role and you genuinely enjoy it, and you genuinely enjoy the commute, and you genuinely enjoy the people that are around you, and you feel like there is growth beyond where you're currently at the moment, then do it. And if you want to come in and sort of make, at 15 to 20, 25, 30,000, you have got to, you've got to block out the noise almost. Like you can't have other people telling you sort of what you can or can't do, because at the end of the day, they actually can't see it. So their opinion is irrelevant compared to yours. And if you genuinely feel like you've got all this noise around you kind of stopping you from where you need to go, then like I said, you just got to block it out and sort of, be able to sort of push on and realize that there is almost growth beyond your corporate job, as obviously you can see on the leaderboard here. So
Yeah, I think like the biggest thing is that you've got to sit down with yourself. I think I touched on something similar in the last member interview I did, that like, are you genuinely happy with where you're at? Like, if you sit down with yourself and you actually look internally, like, do you genuinely feel like you've fulfilled all of your potential? Because everyone that gets into sales at the end of the day in a corporate role is there to be paid for their performance, right? Is there to make a lot of money, but it's just the vehicle you're in. Now, I think the thing with, friends saying things, or you're in a good job, and family saying that, like, with the utmost respect, is that are these people that you're listening to and letting have an impact on where you're going? Are they genuinely where you want to be in life? And it's kind of about acting like the person that you know you need to become, right? And making decisions from the person that, not who you are now, the person that's staying comfortable, is waiting on getting this bonus that the taxman's going to take 50%, but he's acting like the person that you genuinely can become. You've just got to get over yourself, put yourself to one side and get yourself out of your own way, because you can achieve it. If I've been able to do it, if Wardy's been able to do it, why can't you?
Yeah, no, literally, it's so true, isn't it? It's just a logical decision. It's like, well, hang on a second, does anyone in here have the life that I want? Well, therefore, if I put the same input they are, the same hours, the same job title, the same company, the same energy, the same effort, well, guess what? That's going to be your output. Time just hasn't caught up yet. Then it's the same within remote sales. It's like, if I get in the same vehicle as Wardy, as Joe, and I put in the same amount of effort and energy and join the same mentorship or whatever it may be, and I put in the hours, then there's no reason that can't happen. Obviously, saw the leaderboard there. Wardy finished third. Joe finished fifth. What are we looking at coming to February, but also more throughout the year? I mean, before we hopped on, Harry, I think you both did the numbers really based off. You've almost got, yes, you could call it a promotion, but it's more, you've now got access to more higher quality leads within the role that you're on. So it's more juicier leads, more financially qualified and whatnot, which is going to give you higher earning potential to increase the metrics. What's generally the plans for this year, whether that's an earning potential, whether that's Wardy? I know you're potentially going over to South America as well. What's the plans, seriously? So
earning potential is, I just worked it out then, 450,000. If everything goes well, 450.
Where have you got that from? Just so people are like, oh yeah. Where?
Yes. That number is, obviously I did 28,000 in Jan. Obviously priority, etc., has gone up on the offer that I'm currently on. So that will probably push me to, sort of consistent 30 to 35k months. If a month is good, 40k. So yeah, that's where that number comes from. I think I want to average 35k a month the next 12 months. We'll probably go beyond that with priority, etc., as things do. And then, from a travel standpoint, obviously, I think I need to get out of the UK, to be honest. As you can see, I'm pale. So I'm going to go to Brazil, spend a month.
It's a joke. Yeah, it's a joke.
What's that?
Saying next to Joe, probably.
Yeah, well, no, he just had a sunbed this morning. That's why.
Don't know what you're on about, mate.
But going to Brazil, obviously in March. Going to spend a month out there and then hopefully come back for the top performance trip, which I'm hopefully going to get on with the commissions that we'll be earning in the next few months. So that is the plan. Yeah, that is the plan.
Animal. Collie, come on. What's up? What's happening?
This month in Feb, 30k will be breached, and then pushing up.
Breached.
it'll be smoked. I'll 100% hit that. And then the goal for the next 12 months is I want to do 500,000 in commissions. There's going to be 50k months this year. I'm absolutely certain of it. And why can't I push that? If Fenny's done 60, why can't I do 60? He's no different to me. So yeah, 500,000 in commissions across the year is what I want to finish up on. So we can run one of these again in January 27, and you can show that I've done 500,000 in commissions across the last 12 months. I'm confident of it.
Yeah, easy happening. Have you because obviously from Capital Closer we send out active weight. This is an unreleased one, this black one, but we do for 15k a month, as you can see on the screen, 30,000 a month, 50,000 a month. So Harry just missed out on the grey, so did Joe, to be fair. But you've obviously unlocked the blue and the navy set, which is good. I think Wardy's sent, have you sent your address?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Joe, you have as well. Send that out to both of you, get it sent across. I'm sure we'll be sending out the 30k pretty soon as well. And yeah, as I said, want to see you on the next Top Performer trips, guys. But look, really appreciate you both hopping on. And I mean, look, what a prime example of how to do things. And I've always said this to so many people. When anyone has a conversation with me, when both of you came on board from an account exec standpoint and an account manager standpoint, I was like, right, we just need to have them on the best opportunities, and it's a game changer. And obviously with the partnership that we have with Deal Fuel, and obviously knowing the founder pretty well and working together and having quite a close relationship, it just means we can godfather everyone onto Capital Closer, onto that platform, and we can place guys onto the top roles, because everyone now looks and they go, really, hang on a second, Wardy did 360,000 in cash collected, Joe did pretty much 350 in cash, Robbo did 350 in cash, Treshy was doing around that as well in cash collected. Where are these guys coming from? They're on the best remote sales role. Where are they coming from? They're coming from Capital Closer, which now means for everyone inside, the standard goes up of, well, hang on a second, if you're coming through here, we want you on the best role. So I know for a fact that as long as you follow how Joe has done it and Harry's done it, you execute mock calls, training, coaching, you actually become really good. This role alone that Harry and Joe are on, it's there for the taking. Is everyone going to land it? No. You need to be a fucking dog, as you've heard from Harry and Joe, what they're like and how they operate. But it's there for the taking. No, it's there for the taking. Appreciate hopping on, guys. I'll let you get to it because I know you're pretty rammed today. And yeah, we'll catch up soon, big dogs.